Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. It is your girl Shaniqua Inspires, and I'm in my bed, and rightfully so today. Your girl is having some discomfort, but God is still on the throne. So we give him praise and honor. And so I am grateful to be here with you all this morning. I really wish I could be up and at least on my treadmill. I've got it set in my mind what it is that I want to do, how it is I want to do it, how I want to get back into my exercise routine. But for now, we pump the brakes and we got to just do this instead of morning walking talks. We just doing the morning talks. So I'm grateful that I still have my voice. I still have my thoughts. I still have the messages from God, and I'm ready. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to deliver. So if you are new here, we are streaming live on Facebook and on my YouTube channel, Shaniqua Inspires. I say hello to you all. Get your morning coffee, your morning tea, and stick around if you've got me playing in your ear while you're up and about getting ready for your work day. God's blessings be upon you. I am Shaniqua Inspires, and I am a motivational speaker. I am a personal development coach. I am a business and wellness strategist, and I'm here just chit chatting, shooting the breeze, but it always turns out to be some type of message, some type of direction from God. So, for those who just stumble upon me, if you are into faith and deepening your faith and your understanding, then you are indeed in the right place. If you are looking for some Monday morning inspiration, you are indeed in the right place. And I say good morning to each and every one of you. I got my lotion on my hand. I feel like I need a little bit more on my wrist. Think I might have missed out on my wrist. I got this as a free gift from the company that I work with to supply the wellness products. So many of you may not know, but I do host a wellness site that offers wellness products, and that lotion is one of them. It is a lavender body butter. It's a lavender vanilla, more of a lavender scent, but nonetheless, it does the trick because your girl does not like dry hands. I feel like I can't speak when I have dry hands. Good morning, Carol. Happy Monday to you. I want to say Merry Christmas to you as well. I don't know. I'm ready. I want to make Christmas a 3-day event. I'm not satisfied with just one day. And by all means, it's already Christmas Eve in the Philippines. So if I was still in the Philippines, I would still be saying Merry Christmas. So I'm going to start it early and say Merry Christmas to you, Carol, to your family, to everybody who's tuning in, those who are getting yourselves prepared to tune in. Blessings to you. I think we sell ourselves short when we make Christmas just one day. We literally sell ourselves short because all of the preparation and such, you know what I'm talking about? All of the preparation that goes into it, I feel like we sell ourselves short. Like you running around, ripping and running for just one day. Nah, I think we need to make a weekend out of it. I think we need to make a 3-day event out of it. So, today is actually a busy day for me. I've got a lot of meetings today. Sometimes it just works out like that. It just works out like that. As much as I would love to get some rest, it's so funny because the Lord had your girl up. I want to say I probably woke up about maybe like 2:30, but I didn't officially open my eyes until about 3 o'clock. And I really did just lay in the bed, and I really laid in the bed, and I prayed, I meditated, and I probably got up around about 4. And yeah, so it took me about an hour to get up. But I was up at about 3 o'clock this morning. And it's so funny. As soon as it was time for me to set up the computer to do this with you all, it was probably about 8:25. And now all of a sudden I'm feeling sleepy. I'm like, you've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning and you weren't sleepy, not an ounce. And as soon as it's time to really jumpstart the day, you start getting sleepy. So if I sound like I'm a little dragging this morning, it's for one, because I feel like I could take a nap, but I have no time at no point this morning to take a nap. So I've got my staff meeting immediately following this. After my staff meeting, I'm recording an episode. We got to get started with the Black Girl Encourage Her. So the Black Girl Encourage Her is coming back, and we're almost done with the Black Girl. I'm almost done with the Black Girl Pray Her series and all of the entities. So I am excited, but I'm sad to see the Black Girl Pray Her go. Good morning. Good morning, Leslie. No, we got to shift that. We don't want the weather dictating your mood. We got to shift it. It is a cold day here in New York City, but the sun is shining, so that's a good thing. We can still get a little vitamin D if we dare venture out into the elements to receive it. But I pray that your mood shifts. I pray that you will understand your assignment, and all that is out of order will get into order. So as I was saying, we are concluding with the Black Girl Pray Her series, and I really do not want to see it go, but it is coming to an end. And let me just send this message. This is one of my guests. Oh. One of my guests is messaging me. So I'm finishing up with the Black Girl Pray Her virtual summit, because we are having a part 3 to the virtual summit. I know that's right, Carol. Listen, honey, we are on the same page. I am totally in agreement with you that it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if I'm skipping in the fields, smelling the daisies and the daffodils. I still need all the prayer and all of the encouragement. And so even when you are going through the battles and the storms, that's not the only time when we can tap in to out the influx of prayer. We have to learn how to saturate ourselves with an influx of prayer to guard us up. So it's not just a break in case of an emergency. It is, let me get all slippery and oily. So even if the enemy starts to, wreak havoc and do what the enemy is designed to do, then no, you are covered from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. So I really have enjoyed doing the Black Girl Pray Her. That has really been a sweet spot in my heart, and I did not realize that it was going to be such a sweet spot. Like I said, if I were not already totally committed to the Black Girl Encourage Her, I would shift gears. And out of all of the series that I have done, we did the Black Girl Inspire Her, the Black Girl Motivate Her, the Black Girl Write Her, the Black Girl Heal Her. And out of all of those spinoffs, and then the Black Girl Pray Her, out of all of those spinoffs, the one that I did enjoy the very, very most was the Black Girl Pray Her. So we probably will see a return. We probably will see a return of the Black Girl Pray Her. I don't know when. But just like we've seen a return of the Black Girl Heal Her. So the Lord had us do the Black Girl Heal Her twice. We did it annually in September. So I'm claiming that space for the Black Girl Heal Her. Maybe I'll claim the month of December for the Black Girl Pray Her, because it was so November and December. It was so strategic in where it is that I'm at this moment in time. It was so strategically coursed out, mapped out by God. So I look forward to that coming back around. We've done the Black Girl Write Her series. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 times we've done that. So that might, that might pop up again. We might need to do the Black Girl Write Her series, because again, I know so many authors and I want to connect people with books, right? Not just my books, but I want to connect people with books. I want to give authors a platform to be able to share, because people write some good stuff, right? People write some good stuff. And unless we get the attention to it, unless we keep the conversation going on about it, it kind of just fades out. So I love doing those spinoffs. But yes, exactly, Carol. But my heart does belong to the Black girl. Encourage her. So we do have to get back to doing that. So I've got a recording today for the Black girl. Encourage her. I've got a recording today to finish up the virtual summit, the last installment of the virtual summit for the Black girl. Pray her, which is coming up December 30th. So that will be next Monday. Next Monday, we will have the last installment of the Black Girl Pray Her virtual summit. And so we're making it real good for you. And I hope that you all have tuned in to the Black Girl Pray Her. I think at some point, at some point when the month ends, I think I want to do a video recapping all of them. And that is going to challenge me to go back and to watch again, to take some more notes so that I can do a good recap. Just because it was just so beneficial. And as Carol was saying, we always are in need of needing prayers and encouragement. So I like to do my part in adding to that. Today, like I said, I'm feeling a little sleepy, but I know it's a joke, because if I laid down to actually try to go to sleep, I wouldn't go to sleep. So I know it's just a joke. I know it's just the body, one of those imps that work for the enemy that tries to say, "Oh, you've got a busy day. You got to go to sleep." No, no, I've been up every day since then with no problem. Yesterday I woke up at about 1 a.m. and I was up the entire day. You hear me? The entire day. I laid down at around 10 a.m. thinking that I was going to go back to sleep after having woken up at 1 a.m. and was literally up. And no, I didn't go to sleep. It was a false alarm. Sleep did not cometh. And so therefore I got up and I put my makeup on my face and I started doing some video content. So I said, look, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I was good, and I stayed up last night till about, I want to say I got into bed at about 7:30, but I didn't go to sleep maybe till like 8. And I did like one of those dozy, drifty kind of a sleeps. And I was watching Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And I noticed I fell asleep. I'm actually surprised I fell asleep during it, but I fell asleep a little bit. And it was about 9 o'clock when I realized I had dozed off during it. And it was like 9 o'clock. And I said, okay, turn the TV off. Let's get it. So I ended up sleeping until, like I said, about 3 o'clock this morning. And I'm grateful. I'm great. Yes, honey, your girl has been up, but I'm grateful because it is my time with God, right? God is showing me things. Um, and my dreams, and I'm really not writing my dreams down as much as I should be, because sometimes I have dreams that are so multifaceted, and then when I wake up, it's tiresome trying to pull all the pieces of the puzzle together. I would literally be typing in my phone, for half the morning, because there were so many, pieces to it. But I really do need to stay focused and make certain that I do jot down what I remember, because God will then give the revelation. But I was having some dreams, and then I was praying about the dreams that I had, and then the Lord led me to reading Yeah, I've worked, I've worked throughout the day, and yeah, by 3 o'clock, I'm like, I'm up, I'm ready to rock and roll, and I don't even be tired, and I don't even be mad. So that's why I'm like, I know I'm in this like next level because I don't even be mad. I be cool with being up. I almost expect it, like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna get this started, and like, so I be expecting it. I be good. I done had breakfast already. I had my oatmeal. I've already touched bases with my assistant. I've already made my to-do list for the day. So truth be told, I'm actually more productive than when I was getting up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Right. I was more I'm more productive. So I thank God for my season of productivity. I thank God for my season of alone time with him, right? Because in the wee hours of the morning, who else is pulling on you? Well, I mean, if you booed up, you booed up. That ain't everybody's testimony. But I literally, like, who's pulling on me at 3 o'clock in the morning? Nobody better be messaging me. Nobody better be needing me. Like, so the demands of the world have not set in, right? The demands of the world have not set in at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes when I get up at like 1, my oldest son is awake and he's pitter patting around, but he's getting himself ready to go to bed. And I'm like, good morning. And I'm ready. I'm like we're doing shifts. Like he's getting ready to punch out and I'm punching in. But it's, and I got to stop with that word. I keep hearing myself say, that means it's been a while since I've had a speaking event, so I've got to, I got to retrain the brain. When I'm comfortable and I'm just having casual conversation, I realize I say a lot, but when I'm speaking, I try to be mindful of it. So I really do need to start being more mindful, even when I'm just casually talking to you all. However, I feel good. I feel good. I'm productive. I get my one-on-one time with God. Like I said, nobody's pulling on me. Nobody needs me. I don't have to check any emails. Like the emails are not really coming in as frequently. My team is not on the platform. I don't have to check the platform. So I really be good. Like, so I get to spend my time with God. And it's a beautiful thing to just sit with him, right? And he wants to sit with us, and he's sitting, he's waiting, and we can finally show up with the without the distractions, without the interruptions. And so even though I'm having some cramping today, and I was having some cramping yesterday, I'm grateful. I still feel good. I look good. Your girl is here. Anytime I got the hair laid right, I'm feeling good. So I'm just excited for this week. Like I said, I've been anticipating Christmas, which is a rarity. So I'm really excited about what is to come. But this morning, when I was up, and I promise I'm going to finish where we were last week. I was promising I was going to talk to you about something last week, and we didn't get a chance to it because of the Holy Spirit. We're going to blame the Holy Spirit. However, I do still have that in my mind. But this morning, when I was up, what I asked God, I said, okay, Lord, where do you want me to read? Because I don't believe, did I get, yeah, I did get into my Bible over the weekend, but not into like a deep dive study. And I just asked God, I said, well, what is it that you want me to read? Because I wanted to read the Bible. I'm like, imagine that. Like before, when I was getting up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it's like I didn't have time to fit all of this stuff in. Now I got all of this extra time. I got about 4 or 5 hours of extra time. So it's like, okay, what can I fill this time and this space with? And so I asked God this morning, I said, well, what can I read in the Bible? Like, where do you want me to go and to glean? And so, what had been in my mind for a while now was the walls of Jericho. I believe it was when I returned from the Philippines. I was telling you all that I actually physically brought a wall down. where I hadn't even realized I had put the wall up, and now I was in this space where I was bringing the wall down. And so I wanted to read, because you know how sometimes we have scriptures in our head and we cross them up, we mix match them, and you know, we take a piece of one and piece of another and we merge them together, and we just be out here creating our own scriptures and such. So I wanted to make certain that I was clear on my thinking. Even though I knew that I still wanted to get clarity, and I still wanted to read. So I asked the Lord this morning, and so I was green lighted to go and look. And I landed in Joshua. So I landed in Joshua 6, because that's what talks about the walls of Jericho and when they came down, and all of the interaction and instruction that took place in order for the wall to come down. But what's funny to me about God is God will use our wants to get to his desires. Right? Like, so what we want, God could actually use what we want to bring us to where he needs us to be. So where I'm thinking I'm going in to read Joshua chapter 6 about the walls of Jericho coming down, but God put this little taste in my mouth, and I was like, wait a second, I need to go back. I need to see what happened before the wall came down. And so I landed in Joshua 5. And when I tell you that Joshua 5 blessed the the ever loving mess out of me, Joshua 5 did that thing. Now, out of all of the passages in Joshua, you know, nothing in Joshua 5 is the one that stands out. So, you know, pastors are not really preaching on it. They're not really, honing into it. They're not really highlighting it. But when I tell you Joshua 5 stimulated these prayers coming out of me. And one of the things that I realized is that I'm really good at writing my prayers. Some people are really good with speaking them, and sometimes, don't get it twisted. Oh, I can lift up a prayer, but there is a different. I want to not. I'm not even going to say weight. The weight was coming into my head, but it's not even a different weight. It's a different category. So my written prayer and my audible prayers are on like different plateaus. They're on different categories. And I love both of them. And a lot of times, I'm getting so stiff. A lot of times I've got this heat pack on my lower abdomen and a part of my back. So I feel like I'm stuffed in this spot. I might get up and I might do my meeting. I might sit to the table and do my meeting. I got to sit to the table to do my recording today, but I might make a shift for my meeting, because even though this is a good position for me, it's not really a good position for me. But yes, so my prayers, my audible prayers, and the written prayers are on a different caliber, and so I love them both. I love the capacity of both of them, but Joshua chapter 5 really did ignite something in me. And like I said, I do want to I'm gonna call them Bible studies. I'm gonna call them Bible studies, but I'm going to call them Bible studies, but they're really just my revelations. They're like what I'm getting from when I'm finally sitting my behind down. And I just want to share it. Not only do I want to share it with other people, I want to have it documented for myself, because sometimes, as much as I would love to go back and read, and I have been obedient with reading back over my notes, sometimes watching a video is even better. Right. So I want to go and record it so I can remind myself. Carol says she likes to write her prayers too, more than she would like to say it aloud. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times, the enemy wants us not to pray for people. I went through a season, and I started this many years ago, like, and this was when I was, and y'all don't know, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I did a small stint in seminary school. Yeah, your girl be starting a whole lot of stuff and don't finish it. But I had started seminary school, and it was an online program, and they sent me all of the material and everything. And one of the assignments was to pray. you know, and as part of my homework assignment, I would send recorded messages. And Carol, I believe you were probably one of the recipients of that. This was a few years ago, and I would audibly record. I would voice record the prayer, and I would send it to some key people in my life, in my prayer life. And it was good. It was a good practice. And I find it even more so now. I'm getting into the habit of doing it. My sister Gidget, she fell on my mind in the wee hours of the morning, and I started to pray for her. And I was like, you know what? I want to send her this prayer. I want to pray. I want to do it on an audio message, and I want to send it to her. But it was in the wee hours of the morning, and I was like, girl, don't you send her this prayer, because she might hear her phone beeping and think something is wrong, and you done got her in a tizzy for nothing. But when I did finally send it later in the day, and she was like, you could have sent it, honey. She was like, I was up. So, sometimes we should just be obedient. When the Lord says to do that, we should just do it, right? But I love a good and Carol, I probably should listen back. I should probably scroll back on my phone. I may still have those prayers from years ago, and see how I've evolved, right? And that's one of the beautiful things of recording yourself, of writing your prayers out, because then you get to see your advancement. You get to see when you do your deep dive studying, you get to see if you're going deeper than you used to. So it's a key thing. So I'm grateful just for this moment in time that I'm walking more in an obedience, and I'm loving the voice messages. My sister friends have been sending me voice messages, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if I should love it as much as I do, but I do love a good audio voice message, because it really does make it seem like you're speaking to them. And I get that we're all busy, and to God be the glory, Carol. I get it that we're all busy, and our life is going on, and we've got things on our to-do list. But it is such a beautiful gift to give somebody, to just send them a little note. No, we don't have to be on the phone for half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, anything like that. But just to know that you're praying for me. And that is one of the things that my sister said. She actually sent me a voice recording back, and she was just so touched that the Lord would put her on my mind, and that I would intercede for her. Now, I pray for her all the time, but this one was a little deeper in its intentionality. And so I really do enjoy being able to pray, like, audibly, and even writing it out. So I don't know. I don't know what the Lord is gonna do, and how he's gonna use, but I have everything ready. Everything is available. So when God says move, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, take those voice recordings and do this, take that, written word and do that, then I'm ready. Right. So we do want to make certain that we are evolving. And that's the point to it. It is about the evolution of you, the evolution of me. It's about, how do I get better than I was last Monday? I'm not in competition with nobody, but I am in a competition. I do have this competitiveness with myself to say, okay, Sunday I was here. Monday I want to go here. Tuesday I want to get here. Right, until I make it to where it is that I'm going. And where I'm going is I'm pressing towards the mark of the high calling of Christ Jesus, right? So we got to know what the end game is, but we also need to know what the middle ground steps are. So That is good. So I'm making good use of my early morning, my wee hours, as I call them, my wee hour shift. I'm working a wee hour shift. But the thing that I did want to share with you all, I had to sip my water. The thing that I did want to talk to you all about from since last week is about this time. Like, so when I went to the Philippines, because the Philippines is 13 hours ahead of where we're at here in the United States, I felt like I was in like this time continuum. You know, you hear movies and cartoons talking about this time continuum, meaning as though like things are really like, so today is really tomorrow in some people, right? Where some people are, it's literally tomorrow already. And I got a taste of that. So like when I would message my boys, or if I was talking to my mom, I would say, like they would be in one day and I would already be in the next day. And it was like I could tell them like, oh, Tuesday's great. Like, can't wait till you get over here. Like, but Tuesday's on and popping, it's a good day over here. It just felt really unique to be 13 hours ahead of where I normally am. And that really could be what sparked my creativity, which sparked, and I know it had a hand in shifting my sleep patterns, because ever since then, my sleep patterns have been just kind of doing their own thing. But it was a good transition to get me over into this space and time in which God um, desires me to be in this season, right? So we all go through seasons. This is a part of the evolution of me. We all go through seasons, and in each season, it's a different requirement. So last season's requirement says, okay, Shaniqua, you can sleep till 7 o'clock, 7:30 when the alarm clock goes off. Beep, 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 beep. You get up, you get started. There was even a season where I was literally jumping up at 8. There was a season where I was waking up before that. I was getting up at like 6, and I was like, oh, I feel good. I woke up at 6 today. Now God is like, oh, okay, I need you to come over here 1 to 3. That's where your wake up time is. That's where I can get some time in with you. And there was even a season in my life where I was getting up at 5. I was literally setting my alarm clock to get up at 5 because I wanted to pray for an hour. Come to find out, 5 a.m. wasn't my time. That ain't my sweet spot, because I was sleepy. When I had to physically wake up, I was sleepy, and I call myself getting up to exercise to try to get myself rejuvenated and such. But it wasn't a natural wake up. So of course and then I'm like praying. I'm praying for an hour. And so in between, I'm supposed to be up praying, and I'm doing one of those. And I'm like, this is not conducive, because it was forced, right? It was a forced. And although I believe God applauded my effort, like I got the E for effort, it really wasn't beneficial to me, because my mind was sleepy. I was dozing, it was more of a battle to stay awake than it was to learn what it was I was supposed to learn, or to gain what it was that I was supposed to gain. So every season that we personally go through is different. It's different. And I know some people said, oh, well, there are no seasons. It's just a continuum. Yes, it's a continuum. But if you're that type of thinker that likes to break things down, then the seasons is a good place. And I like to break them down. And my seasons are not, winter, spring, summer, and fall. They may not even be monthly. I might go through a couple of seasons in 1 month. Like, so it just really depends on the breakdown. That's the personal development coach in me. Like, I need the structure in the breakdown. So it just really depends on what season you're in. So I'm really grateful for this wee hours of the morning season. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I do want to reap the maximum benefits from it. So I feel like my trip to the Philippines really jump started me to be in this space and time. And I knew God was going to show me some things, and then I knew he was going to keep showing me things. So he showed me some things while I was in the Philippines. And then once I got back, he's still been like building upon that. And so it's all making a lot of sense. And again, so the major thing is the time. And so now that I've gotten accustomed to my time, my oldest son sent me a reel, because that's literally all we do during the waking hours. We send each other reels. I send him all the basketball reels. He sends me all of it, just anything. And sometimes I'm like, why are you sending this to me? But so he showed me this reel, and in this reel, this man was saying that he has 21 days in a week. You heard me right. There's this man who claimed that he had 21 days in a week. And as opposed to everybody else who gets 7 days, he said he had 21 days. But the gist of what it was that he was saying, I felt as though he might have been reaching just a little bit too far, but I understood what he was saying. And I believe what he got his concepts from was from the book called, what is it called? The 12-Week Year. There's this book, and I can tell you who the author is. Hold up. Of course, I got to look it up. And the 12-Week Year is actually what I was, it's by Brian P. Moran. Maybe he doesn't put his emphasis in that. He might not put his emphasis in that area. Maybe it's Moran, right? Because the way I said it. Sorry, Brian. So the 12-Week Year is by Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington. And this is actually the book that I was reading right before I resigned from my corporate job. Yes, that is the book that I was, and I'm not a big reader, so it wasn't like I'm an avid reader or anything like that. That was a purposeful thing. I wanted to be more productive. And so that was my book that I was reading as I was exiting from my job. So I think that this man who I was watching this reel, I think he got this premise, and it's not a bad premise. And so that's what I said. I wanted to make certain I share with you all today, this premise about time, right? So in the book, The 12-Week Year, and I actually did not finish that book. I do not believe. I don't believe I finished it, because it's rare that I will read a book from cover to cover. It's very rare. Act like a man, think like a act like a man, think like a woman. I think that was the name of the book. That Steve Harvey movie. I actually did read that from cover to cover, which was surprising. So there are very, very few books that I read from cover to cover, but I do not believe I read the 12-Week Year from cover to cover, but I did get the gist of it. Right. And these types of books, those types of books, like, you really get the gist of it in the beginning, and then it just keeps adding on into different layers. So once you get the basics, you can evolve with it. But in that book, The 12-Week Year, basically what it's saying is that if you break your year, right, the 365 days, 52 weeks in a year, this book is saying, if you break it up into 12 weeks, so rather than waiting until January 1st or December 31st to celebrate, to say this is the new year, new me, you should be setting goals. It's a goal setting book. You should be setting goals for 12 weeks. And then at the end of the 12 weeks, you celebrate and rejoice. You don't wait to the end of the year. You do it 12 week by 12 week by 12 weeks, right? So in the 12-Week Year, it's literally reshaping the way we think. And it's saying that we need to utilize time differently. So we all know we all get a 24 hours in a day. But sometimes it appears that other people are more successful than we are. Some people get a whole lot more stuff done within their 24 hours than we do. So you think to yourself, well, why is that? God is no respecter of character. So it's not like they're any better than me. But what is it that they're doing that they're more productive than somebody else? And I'll use myself as an example. I'll be my own case study. So when I was getting up at 7:30, my alarm clock was literally set for 7:30, and I would get up, I would pray, I would go into the bathroom, I would freshen up, and then I would come back, I would get on my phone. I'm scrolling through Facebook. I'm scrolling through Instagram. I'm checking my emails. I'm going through all of my email accounts. Like, so it's literally a pattern of what I do. So everything that has a red notification blaring on my phone, that red notification irks me. So I was clearing up all my red notifications. So that's literally what I would spend my time doing. I would literally sit there and, searching, scrolling on my phone, having a good time until it was 8:30, and then I was either going outside and I was walking with you all for an hour, or I was here doing my morning walk and talks, right? So, and then after that, I'm tired. So especially when I was out in the elements, and after I did my walks, you all know when I was going through the season and I was walking above and beyond that. So even though my morning walk and talks would stop talking at 9:30, I kept walking until about 10:30 most days. So I'm still walking. So by the time I get home at 10:30, I'm tired. I get in the shower. Now I'm like, oh, I gotta rest. Oh, I'm hungry. So now my day is I'm taking a nap. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna eat. Now I'm in rest mode for like hours. And then I would get a little work done here and there. And then I'm shut down for the rest of the day because now I'm sleepy and I'm ready to, go to bed. So even though I still had the same 24 hours, I wasn't getting a lot of stuff done. Now, still got the same 24 hours, right? I'm up anywhere from 1 to 3 a.m. So now I'm getting all that prayer time in. I'm getting all that meditation time in. I'm getting all of that, fellowshipping and communing with God. Now I got plenty of time to pick up my Bible. I could read my Bible. I'm awake. Right? I'm awake. This is not a forced issue. This is just good morning. I'm up. And so now I've got more time to get stuff done. Now I'm doing my morning. So by the time I get here with you all and I'm doing my morning walk and talk, I've gotten half my day done. I've gotten half my day done just by the early morning wake up. And so even if I shut down, and so I laugh about it because when my team punches out at 5 o'clock, a lot of the times I'm right behind them. Like, okay, I'm done for the day too. Right? Because I've gotten up earlier. And I've even heard that. I had the privilege of sitting in a workshop with a billionaire, right? That's unfathomable to many of us, a billionaire. So I'm sitting listening to this billionaire speak, and he talks about his day. And one of the things that he says is that he's up 5 o'clock. He takes hikes. He goes for a swim in the lake or the river, wherever he lives by. He takes swims. He says he's literally up. He checks the emails. He does the work. He has time for his morning swim, his meditation, and it's because he gets up early. So many of us are not willing to get up early. And that's the difference between your success, right? If you get up at 10 o'clock, if you have to catch this on the replay because you get up at 10 o'clock, are you as productive when you've waken up earlier? Right? So what the 12-week year literally says, it's about manipulating time. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's about manipulating time. We all get the same amount of time, but some people are manipulating it differently. That's how old boy was talking about he gets 21 days in a week as opposed to everybody else getting 7 days. But it's the way in which he has decided to manipulate time. And I believe he had 8-hour time blocks. So he says he sets his day up in these 8-hour time blocks, where it is we set our weeks up on these daily time blocks. So instead of saying, if I'm up 16, wait, is that enough time? 15, 16 hours in a day, 14, 15, yeah, it's possible, 16 hours in a day. How much am I getting done? How much of that is actually usable time, as opposed to when you're spending a lot of your time sleeping or eating, or just aimlessly doing stuff. So it is about the manipulation of time. How are you able to maneuver your time better? So what he was saying was, and I don't remember how he marked off his 8-hour segments. So let's just say from midnight to 8 a.m. For him, that's one block of time. So in that block of time, he's now dictating what he's going to do. So are those sleep hours? Are those wake hours? Are those work hours? So what is it that he's doing? So he's decided to manipulate that first block of 8 hours to be productive. So you wake up, you start your goals, you eat, you get a little rest, and then you're ready for the next shift. So from 8 what are we at? 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Did I give it enough time? 4 p.m., right? From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now that's another block of time. And so now he utilizes that. He stratifies that block of 8 hours. He now stratifies it like a wash and repeat. All right. So you got time to work, you got time to eat, you got time to rest. And then the next block of 8 hours, he mimics the system. So that's why old boy feels like he gets 3 days compared to hour one, because it's the way in which he manipulates time. So, what I say to you all as your words of encouragement, how are you manipulating time? And sometimes it literally is about the way you think on those things. As a man thinketh, that's how he becomes. That's what he does. That's what he engages in. That's what he seeks after. So if your manipulation of time is that you're always seeking after more time, you're never going to have enough time. I had this conversation with the sister friend of mine. We were talking about money. When you have your mindset saying, I need money for this, chances are you're never going to have enough money. Let me give you an example so you can believe me in this. You're on a job, you're working a job, you're making $15 an hour, right? Or whatever, I don't even know what minimum wage is, but let's just say $15 an hour. You're making $15 an hour. You're in that job and you're like, man, I just need to make some more money. I just need to make some more money, because this just ain't cutting it. I don't got money for this. I don't have money for that. I just need some more money. So now, thanks be unto God, you get an opportunity to get an advancement, to get a new position. And in this new position, or maybe you're out here job hunting, and now the job hunt leads you to a place that you make $17 an hour. And you're like, oh, I'm going to take it because this $15 an hour is just not cutting it. So you move from the job making $15 an hour to a job making $17 an hour. But guess what? You still ain't got no money. Still ain't got no money. Why? Because you're in this mentality, and some might call it like a paycheck to paycheck mentality. What have you done with your extra money? Your extra money has now allocated itself, or it blended itself right in with everything else. So you don't visualize any extra money. So you still broke. And so you decide, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to put all my time, effort, and energy to getting me a new degree. And this new degree is going to open the door, and I'm going to get some more money with this new degree, and all is going to be well and swell in my life. And so now you go back to school, you spend 4 hours, a block of 4 hours, a block of 4 years getting this degree. Now, mind you, all the time, the effort, the sacrifice, the tears, the sweat, all that went into this 4 year to get this degree. Now you've got this new degree. Now you're starting on a job. They're offering you, let's just say it was a good move. They're offering you now $50 an hour. And you're like, to God be the glory. You out here doing your little praise dance. You getting it in. You got the shoulders bopping and everything. You praising God. But guess what? You're going to get so content and so settled in that $50 an hour, where you're going to soon eventually be saying, you might be living high on the hog, because you're going to accumulate more stuff. You're going to accumulate more bills. And now at some point, you're going to level out. And at some point you're going to say, I need more money. And I can speak the truth behind that, because I was literally in a 6-figure job and felt like I needed more money. You would say, oh my gosh, Shaniqua, well, how much more money do you need? You was literally working a 6-figure job. How much more money do you need? You need more money, because you accumulate more bills. You accumulate more stuff, because I trust and believe your girl traveled. Wherever I wanted to go, I went. I did this. I invested in myself, and I still felt like I wasn't making enough money. Well, how do you get into a place where you make more money, Shaniqua? Good morning, Joyanne. How do you get into a place where you make more money? That's a great question. And the answer is, you got to shift your mindset. You got to shift your mindset around money. You got to shift your mindset around time. And then you will find that you have more time, you got more money. Listen, I know it sounds far-fetched. It sounds too easy to be true, but it is the God's honest truth. If you are watching this and you're saying, you know what, I wish I had more money. I don't have as much money as I would like to have at this moment in time. Chances are, if you deep dive, if you trace back on your relationship with money, you will find holes in your walls. You will find the areas where the enemy has come in and sucked your money out. But it starts with the mindset. The mindset will help you to visualize it. If you don't shift your mindset, you're never going to be able to visualize it. You're not going to be able to visualize it. So if time is always of the essence, if time is always your and I did one of those three tip videos. Those were on the negative side, and I was saying, we're gonna blame time for everything. You don't have enough time to do this. You don't have enough time to do that. It's time's fault. Well, you know what? You get the same 24 hours as everybody else. The problem is how you think, how you think about time. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So when you start to manifest, like, you will start to manifest when you shift your mind. So it's the way in which you manipulate time. You will then see you have more time. You will then see how much time you've literally wasted. Oh my God. If I had to go back and take inventory in that season where I was binge watching Monk, because I would always come on here and laugh and talk with you all about me binge watching Monk. If I could literally go back in a time machine and take my little clipboard with me and sit there and write down all of the time that I wasted complaining about not having time. How many hours? And your phone, if you have a iPhone, I don't know if the Androids do this, but the iPhone, it will send you a weekly account as to how much time you've been on your phone. So you're on average on your phone 7 hours a day. Do you work from your phone? Are you making money? Are you generating money from being on your phone? And if the answer is no, then you need to get off your phone. But you got to go in and check Facebook like it's the daily newspaper. You got to check Facebook. You got to check your emails. But is any of that making you money? It literally becomes a time waster. Binge watching Monk, binge watching Grey's Anatomy, binge watching Scandal, binge watching everything else that I done binge watched. Those are holes that are sucking your time away. So if you took a really thorough inventory on your time, and if you commit to changing your mindset about how you manipulate, how you maneuver time, you will find you will get more of it. Hence, how I'm able to tell you that I am more productive than I've ever been. Because all of the time that I was sitting around, I would say I'm tired. I'm getting 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, but I'm still tired. How am I still tired? And I had 8 hours of sleep. And now I'm getting 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep. And I'm wide awake throughout the day. Did anything really change physically? Or is it all in my mind? If you're too old to, if you're too young to know that Twilight Zone reference, right? But it is about how you manipulate time, and that's what the Holy Spirit said. It's about the manipulation of time. So whether you manipulate time as your friend, as your asset, as your partner, your partner in time, or it can be something that's an adversary. It could be something that's working against you. The choice literally is yours. All right. So that's all I got. I wanted to make sure I got that out. Maybe tomorrow I'll get on and we'll deep dive a little bit into some of those nuggets that I picked from Joshua 5. But I gotta go because I got a team meeting, because I got to keep this productivity going. So you all have a blessed day. Be mindful of your time, and I will see you on here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I ain't got nothing else to do. Chances are I'm probably gonna be up, in the wee hours working. So I'll have time to get on here and chit chat with you all. So I will see you all back here tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the morning walk-in talks with Shaniqua Inspires. That's me. That's what I'm doing, laying here in the bed with my hot pack on. I took my Motrin, so I'll be all right. And even if I didn't, I would still be all right. So you go forward, have a blessed day, and I'll see you all again tomorrow, God willing. Take care, everyone.